Android Galaxy Greece. My name is Andreas and today we're doing our full review on the HTC One Mini 2. Let's go right ahead and do it and keep it short. On the back, we have a microphone, a flash, and a 13 megapixel camera. I know you're all thinking, why does this have a 13 megapixel camera and its big brother, the one I made, has a 4? We'll talk about that later. On the left side, we have the nano SIM tray, and on the right side, we have the SD card slot. On the bottom, we have the micro USB input, and on the top, we have the power sleep wake button and the jack input. Now, on the front, we have our 5 megapixel front-facing camera and the stereo speakers along with the earpiece and the notification light, as well as the bottom with the speakers and the HTC logo. Now, this phone has a 4.5-inch display, 720p. It has a Snapdragon 400 powering it, 1 gig of RAM, and so on and so on. I'm not gonna go through the specs. The UI is Zen 6 on top of Android 4.4.2 KitKat. It's pretty much Sense 6, Sense UI, as you know and love, as we all do. It's a light skin on top of Android. It's not lag free, but it's not lag plentiful, something like that. You've got blink feed. I'm not going to talk about the software. It's Sense 6, you know, Sense 6. The speakers on the front are great. They're a little bit worse or not as loud as the Desire's 816 speakers, but they are great as well for consuming media, although the screen is pretty small and the power on the top isn't that cumbersome to reach because it is a 4.5 inch display phone. It's made bigger by the 2 speakers on the front. Now let's take a look at the camera, because you're all thinking, why does the Mini have a 13 megapixel camera and the one I made has a 4? Well, there will be pictures flashing on top of the screen now. You can see that the camera is poor. I don't want to be harsh. It's not a top spec phone. It's not a flagship, but it just goes to show that the megapixel count doesn't really say anything when being compared to something that's being properly put together, like the one I made, which is not my favorite camera by far on a phone, but it's really not the worst. Now, the One Mini 2 does the job. What I need to talk about is the Moto G from Motorola, because this is what it's up against. And this is much, much more expensive than the Moto G. I think in Europe it's around 200 euros more than the Moto G. And that doesn't really make sense to me, because it does have that aluminum body on the back, like the one I made, but on the top we have plastic. On the bottom we have plastic, and on the sides you can see it's not really all metal. It's plastic and metal, and it does make it easier to hold than the one I made. It doesn't slip as easy as the one I made did. But again, it's not as premium feeling, some people might say about this one. And it has like a big plastic ring going around the whole phone, which you can see on the front. You can't see the metal like you can on the one I made. So the main question is this or a Moto G? Well, I think a Moto G, to be completely honest, because I have a Moto G. I think the Moto G is the better buy here if you want if you want something premium looking and as beautiful as the One Mini 2 is, because it is undeniably, unquestionably beautiful, you have to go for this. If that's not your thing, the same processor is in the Motorola Moto G at this point. It's cheaper, but it's plastic. The camera, it's bad as well. It's not a great camera. So they're about on par, 720p screen, on par phones. If you want premium, go for this. If you don't care about the build, go for the Moto G. I have to be honest here, I would just go for the Moto G, and I actually did. So that's it for the review, the small review of the HTC One Mini 2, and I'll see you in the next video.